I now give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Abdullatif bin Rashid Al Zayani, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Bahrain.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, Your Excellency, Ms. Annalena Baerbock, President of the United Nations General Assembly, Your Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Nations, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, may the peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate you, Your Excellency, on your election as President of this session, wishing you every success in conducting its work. I would also like to thank His Excellency, the Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, for his tireless efforts to strengthen the role of the United Nations in addressing contemporary international issues. Madam President, this 80th session of the General Assembly is convened while the world is facing accelerating transformations and complex challenges. This includes geopolitical tensions, armed conflicts, climate change, and major political and economic crises. All of them have great humanitarian repercussions. This situation requires collective effort to strengthen international solidarity, to deepen dialogue and understanding, and to uphold international law for a brighter future for humanity. In this context, the Kingdom of Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, and with the support of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, reaffirms its commitment to strengthen multilateral cooperation, upholding international law and the principles of the United Nations Charter. We're committed to deepening our strategic partnership with the United Nations and its agencies in order to fulfill our shared aspirations for peace, security, and sustainable prosperity. The work of this session coincides with my country's election as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for the coming 2 years, with 99.5% of votes in the General Assembly. This is a precious expression of international confidence that we highly value. We thank all countries on their support and confidence. My country is also preparing and looking forward to hosting the forthcoming GCC summit this December, thereby reinforcing its role as a key partner in advancing regional and international peace, security, and coexistence within stable, sustainable, and prosperous societies. From this vein, the Kingdom of Bahrain sets forth its vision under the leadership of His Majesty the King for regional and global peace, coexistence, and prosperity. This vision is deeply rooted in our historical and civilizational heritage, our human values, and our balanced diplomatic approach. This is aligned with the principles of the UN Charter and international law. We firmly believe in peace. We firmly believe that any conflict can only find a lasting solution through direct negotiations, political will, and a spirit of compromise. For this reason, we welcome all sincere initiatives for mediation and dialogue, proceeding from our belief that diplomacy is the only path to end the cycles of death and destruction. It will help shape a future of dignity and hope for future generations. The Kingdom of Bahrain seeks to advance this vision through the following main pillars. First, a commitment to the peaceful settlement of conflicts, especially in the Middle East. The Kingdom of Bahrain calls for a comprehensive and lasting ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. We call for the protection of civilians, the immediate release of hostages and detainees. We call for expediting the sustained delivery of humanitarian aid, the implementation of the Arab and Islamic Plan for recovery and reconstruction in the Strip, and the firm rejection of any forced displacement schemes. We also reject any settlement expansion or attempts to alter the historical and religious status quo of Jerusalem, a city that has embraced divine faiths throughout history. My country warns of the repercussions of the war in Gaza on regional stability and global interests. We condemned the Israeli attack on the brotherly state of Qatar, which has long played a recognized role in mediation, together with the Arab Republic of Egypt and the United States of America. They aim to reach a lasting ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and secure the release of hostages and detainees. Accordingly, my country calls for negotiations and diplomatic solutions as the path to resolving the Palestinian question in line with the rules of international law and the UN Charter. We urge the international community to respond to the initiative endorsed by the 33rd Arab Summit, the Bahrain Summit, that calls for an international peace conference in the Middle East. This would lead to direct negotiations leading to a comprehensive and sustainable solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. The Kingdom of Bahrain welcomes the decision of the General Assembly to endorse the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the Palestinian question and the implementation of the two-state solution. We commend the growing international recognition of the State of Palestine and the concerted efforts undertaken by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the French Republic in this regard. Bahrain further emphasizes the need for peaceful solutions to the crises in Syria, Lebanon, Sudan, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and beyond, in a manner that guarantees their sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity. It must also secure their people's rights to stability and sustainable development. This approach is based on the principles of good neighborliness, non-interference in internal affairs of other countries, and the rejection of the use of or threat of use of force. The Kingdom also affirms the importance of joint action to rid the Middle East of weapons of mass destruction. It should be spared the risks of any arms race or military escalation. We call for the resumption of U.S.-Iranian negotiations to resolve the Iranian nuclear file in a manner that promotes global peace and security. The second pillar is the promotion of a culture of peace, tolerance, coexistence, and dialogue between religions and cultures. This would be pursuant to the principles of the Kingdom of Bahrain Declaration on Freedom of Religion and Belief. We call for an international convention to combat religious hate speech and racism, and banning the abuse of digital platforms to incite extremism, radicalism, or terrorism. Turning to the third pillar of the Kingdom of Bahrain's vision, it is related to strengthening international strategic partnerships for security, peace, and prosperity. In this regard, we take pride in the Comprehensive Security, Integration, and Prosperity Agreement, CCPA, signed between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the United States of America, along with the United Kingdom. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, described it as a launching point for a multilateral framework that brings together like-minded states to achieve stability and prosperity, and an effective model of a comprehensive vision based on mutual respect and common goals. My country seeks to enhance partnerships with states, organizations, and regional and international groupings. This aims at combating terrorism, strengthening cybersecurity, and ensuring food and water security. We also seek to promote digital innovation and artificial intelligence with the aim of providing a safe, stable, prosperous, and sustainable environment. The fourth pillar reaffirms my country's commitment to strengthening international cooperation for sustainable development and humanitarian solidarity. This includes tackling poverty around the world. The Royal Humanitarian Foundation in the Kingdom of Bahrain undertakes the implementation of numerous health, education, and relief projects worldwide. The Kingdom is also pursuing the implementation of its initiative endorsed by the Bahrain Summit to provide health and education assistance to those affected by conflicts and disputes in the region. This supports the SDGs to ensure that no one is left behind. The Kingdom of Bahrain, proud of its fruitful cooperation with the United Nations, reaffirms its commitment to sharing its experience as a leading model of reform and constant development. We work on modernizing legislations, providing a homeland of tolerance, coexistence, religious freedom, and humanitarian work. We in the Kingdom of Bahrain are proud that reform and development have not been mere slogans, but have become a reality experienced by the Bahraini citizen. Our youth are leading digital innovation. Our women are assuming leadership positions. Our society presents a model of coexistence and pluralism. My country's government's goal has always been to ensure for our citizens a dignified life in housing, work, education, and health, because we believe that human dignity is the foundation of national prosperity. The same spirit should be the starting point for building a more cooperative and stable region. My country has strengthened the rule of law and constitutional institutions. We have made notable progress across all areas of human rights. We take pride in our pioneering initiatives, such as the alternative sentencing measures, the open prisons, the special court for children, the programs supportive for women, families, and children, in addition to an advanced legislative system. Our economy continues to diversify away from oil with a growing contribution from non-oil sectors and increasing foreign investment. This reflects a growing international confidence. As to the digital sphere, Bahrain ranks among global leaders in innovation, digital transformation, and cybersecurity. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, in his address before the General Assembly last year, called for the adoption of an international convention to regulate and govern the development of AI. My country takes pride in the abilities and competence of its youth. We have adopted numerous pioneering initiatives to empower the youth, such as the King Hamad Award for Youth Empowerment in partnership with the United Nations, the launch of the Global Youth Competitiveness Support Network, the HOPE Network, and we supported the advancement of women through the launch of Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa Global Award for Women's Empowerment now in its third edition. This comes in addition to our membership in the Executive Board of UN Women for the coming 3 years. Turning to the environmental field, we reaffirm our commitment to achieving net zero carbon neutrality by 2060 through investment in clean energy and green technologies. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, what Bahrain is building domestically in terms of reform and development is an extension of our broader global vision. Building a more just, tolerant, and sustainable society in Bahrain is a direct contribution to creating a more stable and secure Middle East and a more cooperative and equitable world. From this podium, the Kingdom of Bahrain renews its commitment to the United Nations Charter. We are keen to strengthen cooperation with the organization through the Strategic Partnership Framework for Sustainable Development, signed with more than 21 UN agencies. As His Majesty the King underlined in his message on the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, Bahrain takes pride in its membership. It is determined to achieve shared humanitarian and development international goals and to strengthen strategic partnerships for a future of peace, justice, and prosperity for the peoples of the world. From this standpoint, my country calls for the reform of the UN system to enhance its effectiveness, transparency, to maintain international peace and security. We need to ensure the representation of developing countries in decision-making. My country, throughout its upcoming non-permanent membership in the Security Council, is committed to promoting dialogue, building bridges of peace, consolidating tolerance and coexistence, supporting the protection and promotion of human rights, advancing sustainable development, and enhancing the Council's efficiency in addressing global challenges. The decisions we take in this session do not only shape our present, but will determine the fate of generations yet unborn. Will they inherit a world torn apart by conflict and division, or a homeland of peace, prosperity, and human cooperation? Let us work together to realize the essence of this session's theme, better together. Better together to rise up to the human values enshrined in the UN Charter. That brings us together. Let us make this 80th session of the General Assembly a turning point toward a more just and humane international order, with peace that upholds dignity and fulfills the aspirations of our peoples, that brings prosperity that secures our shared future. The coming generations deserve a world that embraces their dreams, unrestrained by fear and unburdened by conflict. We pray to Almighty God to guide us all to outcomes would bring goodness and progress for all humanity in a world that is safer, more just, more sustainable, and more prosperous. Thank you. Peace be upon you.
Muchas gracias al...
My thanks go to the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Bahrain. I now give the floor to His Excellency